We live in an era of technology where we can talk to Siri on iPhone and we can literally say, hey, what's up to Google and talk to it. But could you imagine a race of cybernetic type beings or robots that starts having their own free will and comes from the future to take you out because you're a big history point? And to the point where there's even versions of you that are reprogrammed to where you're there to protect the person from the past and etc. A lot of different models that are even better than you that you have to take on and defeat. The T-800, the Terminator. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Cyborg. The T-800, but how strong is he? What is he made of? Right off the gate, they even explain what he's made of.
Inside it's living human tissue. Flesh, skin, hair, blood, grown for the cyborgs.
Their skin and stuff actually is real and moving. But here's the good part.
Cyborgs don't feel pain.
They can eventually grow a conscience though.
Caring for this family gave me purpose. I began to understand what I'd taken from you.
You grew a conscience?
I'm about to just let them tell you how his body works.
How long do you live?
120 years with my existing power cell.
They can function with half a body. Can even hear voices through soundproof glass.
Years. What do you want?
Can actually reroute to an alternate power source when he's drained. Life support type of functions, right? Alternate power.
HK's use infrared.
By scanning other people's facial expressions, he can learn new stuff and facial expressions on the spot by scanning exactly what they're doing on their emotion. Like scanning all of that mess to mimic it. He uses his own GPS while driving at high speeds. As you can see how he's going through the traffic like that. Knows when the other Terminators pretty top tier, like the liquid metal Terminator, like that is trying to attract them liquid metal material. No problem with predicting what they're going to do and knowing how to act accordingly. Very good with numbers, calculating the success rate of certain things. Can scan vehicles and automatically know their model. Are literally one-sided. He's not supposed to be able to see through it. He can scan the environment to see any tactical advantages needed. Even scanning for vulnerabilities so you don't stand a chance. You don't want to be in his sights because target acquired. He's got a targeting system, even a compass. I want to make it clear that all these robots I'm going on in the video are technically not the same guy or entity. It's just the same exact model T-800. Part of it is character progression and part of it is just the same model but a different version of the same model. But they all happen to look like Arnold's. Also, one could say character evolution. The thing about the Terminator is it is from the future and it has like super high-tech stuff. It has great marksmanship, accuracy, and aim and can learn how to get better during the heat of combat and stuff. So it's highly sophisticated being. But when it comes to his super strength, how strong is he without necessarily his guns? I mean, because that's something you can disarm him with. What do you have to look forward to always, no matter what? When you see this guy pulling up to you, he can already shoot you, but it would be gruesome to have to deal with him just ripping you limb from limb. You can get an idea of his strength, all these pallets of supplies he can push. You get an idea of their strength lifting a guy up with his hair. Even breaks handcuffs. They didn't know what they was getting into with strength. Whatever you do, if you like your hands, don't try to give him a handshake. Putting your hands on him and getting aggressive is not the best interest. So save yourself a hand literally by not doing it. Picking people up is a thing he commonly does. It lets you know how strong he is casually. But he be throwing people like they don't weigh nothing. Even things that are thick like this that made of pure steel like the Rev 9, he could throw that far. In the past, the steel door, you still aren't safe. Even if that door is barred, can still rip through like that. With the help of some magnetic gauntlets, this T-3000, something that was really freaking overpowered, was able to kind of restrain him like that, lift him up in the air, slammed like that. This is technically where the upgrade happened for him in this particular model. And that's when he fell into the liquid metal when he was busted up. And yeah, an actual upgrade for once. If future movies going to explore this liquid metal thing, I doubt it. But it was cool at the end of this movie, I guess.
I thought you were dead.
Just upgraded.
Large steel doors he can just open like that. With his incredible strength. Just a side effect of him fighting another android level being. Pushing a car whilst tackling him. Toss this javelin into this being. T-800 can rip apart T-600s like this, ripping it in half on a whole nother level. When this huge blast door was closing, he kind of slowed it down temporarily, despite it being this massive slowing it down. With one arm can hold a bus from falling off a bridge, showing its power. It seemed like this was casual and not a strain, if you see what I'm talking about. Then after making sure they're all safe, let go of the bus like that. Based on all this stuff, it's already proven T-800 can punch really hard, but I'm going to show it anyway. He can throw you far or punch you really hard like that. Can completely destroy skulls like that. Punch through your body. Punches open a payphone. Here's like punching through a windshield. Something casually he does multiple times.
When he punched through the windshield.
He makes the hardest things look so simple and easy. I mean, if you punch somebody that hard, it would cave in your chest, man. He's overpowered in the cases of strength going through other things. just ramming like a juggernaut at that point. Punch through a pillow, no stranger to knocking down steel doors. Thick layers of steel he can punch through and even do that. Guys, he's not a fan of doors. You're not even safe with concrete. We're literally seeing this model punch through concrete walls. If you're safe in a lockdown building, it's not a guarantee you're really safe. It's just too many occasions of the doors going flying. Not a fan of desks, they gotta go. They can set them flying. Why the heck would you use tear gas against a T-800? That ain't gonna work. They can handle electricity fairly well. I wouldn't say it's an end-all be-all. It does mess them up quite a bit. You're better off shooting at their joints because they're pretty freaking bulletproof at the most part. Like, don't even try it, man. It's like, what are you doing? Even laser blasters, not even guaranteed. Has been literally hit by an 18-wheeler going that quick. Dives into helicopter blades. Landing on them like that. He can definitely withstand stuff that can probably level pieces of buildings, like even grenades. Yeah. It's just consistent with no matter which model. This model can withstand being hit by a car. Even car explosions ain't going to cut it against him. Can withstand acid to some degree. Obviously, probably couldn't bathe in it. It would eventually mess him up to a degree. Incapacitating this many people with ease without them being able to do anything. Night. Murked. Skilled enough to drive backwards on this occasion on one of the toughest machines of all time. I mean, it does make sense. He has detailed files on the human anatomy.
I have detailed files on human anatomy.
Can repair his own arm when he gets injured in battle to show its intellect even more. Yeah, it actually does have blood even though he's technically a robot. Can fix the knee if needed. But here's the thing. You got the T-800 and you got the T-850. It's basically the same thing, but just slightly upgraded model of the T-800. So I just want to give you an idea of how the stuff inside of them works. Like this fuel cell, for example, the thing that powers them up. It's very powerful. Like a little miniature nuke. The standard stuff like manhandling humans. Throw humans in the air is all prevalent here. Urinals in the wall. He's trying to rip off like it's nothing. Hangs on going through all of this, been able to withstand going through a building, going through all of that, leveling the part of the building, and he's still good after all of that mess. Inferior creature, get murked. TA's got to be one of the most overpowered machines in the future, like I've seen, bruh. Steel bars, he can just bend like this with one hand. Safes like this, he can just rip open. TX, your wrist is done for. Stupid wrist. One of the most impressive things is this large behind blast door. How much strength will be needed to do this? And yeah, literally jamming it with its raw power. No matter if it's bulletproof, he goes through windows. Like it's just another ordinary day in the life. These little grave walls he just punch through with his raw strength. When he elbows you, go flying that far. Can completely demolish a car and flatten it with just a few blows. Thanks to the raw force of his punching power. Yeah, that hard he can hit, flattening it. One can make an argument that he has supersonic reflexes on how this bullet got shot to him, and he caught it with his teeth. Has even survived plasma blasts, futuristic weapon type of stuff, letting you know how much he can withstand going through all of that bullcrap. He can definitely take building-shattering explosions. Based on all this information, whether I'm talking about the T-800 or T-850, I would say can at least lift 20 plus tons to be fair, and probably can punch a lot harder and lift a lot more. This is a bare bones minimum, I would say. I want to see more evolution of that liquid metal upgrade that they did in Genesis. But I'm thinking they're going to act like Genesis didn't exist because of time travel shenanigans and act like he never got liquid metal or something. Who knows what they'll do. When it comes to marksmanship and accuracy, it can gun you down before you even have the chance to shoot. Multitasking is what its specialty. Extend all these cops in hand to hand. When it comes to strength and skill put together, it's literally stated in the blink of an eye when it comes to speed and reaction. When it comes to strength, paving in the concrete with their strength, buried under a whole bunch of concrete, still has no problem busting out all this concrete or cement. Definitely strong enough to lift cars, whether it be flipping them or just lifting up over his head. This helicopter taking off, he can grab it, showing his strength there. All this molten lava over him, it still didn't shut him down completely. He's resisted plasma rifles on more than one occasion. Bazooka and power plasma handguns, I meant. T-800 has had different types of gear, like a flight pack. Sometimes can emit a low EMP pulse. It is implied they have EMP resistance though. I can literally talk about his accuracy and show you panels of showing off his accuracy for days. There's even times where he catches a grenade barehanded or throws 3 saw blades at the same time accurately. I would say this is probably his most deadly weapon, a plasma rifle. They pack a serious amount of blast power. Concrete columns and steel go bye-bye from this. Plasma rifle designed and built by Cyber Research Systems, it is the best this era has to offer. Effective even against Terminators. Blows through tank armor, it can. It's straight up stated that it packs the force of a bazooka. Proving he can level a building support beam with weapons like this. The fuel cell has been compared to nuclears more than once, even in novelization. We've already seen what it visually looks like You can use this as a last resort situation like the Terminator did in this particular occasion, like a self-detonating, causing that much destruction in the area. Technically, a Terminator has the raw power to level a raw city. You're probably thinking, how is that possible? Think about it. He has a fuel cell inside of the T-800, which he can use for a nuclear type of destructive capacity. But you're probably thinking, that shouldn't count as a way to display destructive capacity, because if he does that, that's a suicide move. That shouldn't count as a battle strategy. Well, here's the thing. I would have said the same thing if he didn't have 2 hydrogen fuel cells. So he can use one for a nuclear and he still be alive, but he just can't use the next one. Or I could be just missing context. What do you guys think about that strategy? You have no choice but to respect the Terminator. He even fought RoboCop in a crossover comic that's probably not really supposed to be counted, but I thought it would be cool because why not? I already got a video about RoboCop on the channel anyway, so check that out. But if this was to be taken seriously, RoboCop got some crazy feats, like lifting up hundreds of tons, and he's still able to. The comics writer intent seemed to want them to be similar because nobody's getting one-shotted after this long panel. But there was a winner here. But, you know, he gave him some war. But at the end of the day, all of this could be just me. I hope they explore that liquid metal stuff. How strong do you think he is? Do you like the Terminator movies? You know he got to be pretty smart to be able to beat beings like TX, superior models and stuff. But I also have to give a quick shout out to those that took the time to donate to the channel. Helps out a lot, believe it or not. Respect them. I'm glad you are enjoying your time on the channel. Make sure you check out the playlist on the channel to see other How Strong videos. If you like what this channel is offering, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys later.